Right in locked position. Oh, wait a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat and buckle up. Seat backs and tray tables in their full upright position. It's another episode of Skip Happens. A view from 30,000 feet. From the first music lesson to the first paid gig to signing the deal, it's the journey that is the life of an artist. Now, here's your captain and co-captain, a.k.a. your hosts, Skip Clark and Deb Lamphere.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hello.
Hi, Deb.
How are you?
I am good. Let me tweak a few things. I like that word tweak.
Yes, I
tweak
like
a few
it
things
too.
here. There you go. All right, we got a great Skip Happens for you tonight. And we talk about Skip Happens, and it does happen. And it happens for the better. And our guest tonight is a good example of that. He's been through a lot in his life. As a matter of fact, he was just telling us before he went out with the lights and the cameras and all that stuff, Deb, that he's got a bus call at midnight. And you know where that bus is heading?
Right up to the northeast of Syracuse.
Yep. Well,
yeah,
the Northeast. He's going to Jordan. He'll be at Kegs coming up this weekend.
At Kegs. That's what I know.
Yes, yes. I want y'all to say hi to my new friend Trey Lewis. Trey, what's going on, man? How are you?
No, good, man. I'm just packing up my bags here, getting ready to leave to head y'all's way.
I love it.
Right.
What's the packing like? Do you have to is it just? Well, we're guys. We take one little suitcase.
Yeah, it's basically come home every weekend. Take my clothes out of the bag, put them in the washing machine, wash them, fold them, put them back in the bag, and leave.
And get on the bus again.
Exactly.
Do you have the same bus like weekend after weekend?
No, we don't. Like sometimes I'm flying. Like I just did the Kid Rock tour, which was for 6 months. So sometimes I would fly with him, and then sometimes I would fly commercially. So it really just depended then on what we were doing, and depends on what we're doing now. Like we had last Thursday, we played a show in Tuscaloosa, and I have a van. We drove down there in the van, and then I drove to Birmingham and flew to Reno, and then got in the car and drove across the desert 8 hours to Laughlin, and then flew home. So it really just depends on what we're doing. But tonight and next week we're going to be in a bus, so it'll be fun.
So wait, do you make all those travel arrangements? Like, I mean, do you decide where you want to fly and drive to, I guess is what I want to say?
My manager usually makes the plan and then just runs it by me and asks me what I want to do. So
you don't mind all that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty normal for musicians to be doing all that stuff all the time. So
yeah, pretty much. Do you bring pets with you? Do you have any, first of all?
I don't have any pets. My roommate has a dog. Her name's Ella Langley. She's also a country artist, really, really good.
I love it.
And but she has a dog, so but he's not mine. But I'm like his fun uncle, I guess.
But he stays home while you hit the road.
Yeah, he's on the road. Either if she's not on the road, then sometimes I have somebody that keeps it or whatever. So.
Exactly. Trey, I want to talk about you a little bit, your story, and kind of get your background a little bit. You've been almost 15 years sober. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I just celebrated June 11th, 2007. That's my sobriety start date. So
congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It wasn't easy to do. It's a hard thing to do. But I definitely needed it, and I'm glad that I stuck with it.
Now, was it alcohol or was it other?
I did everything. I mean, I liked benzos and other stuff like that. I mean, I did just about every drug that you can think of, other than the epidemic right now, which is fentanyl or heroin or stuff like that. That wasn't around when I was out, when I was out there doing what I was doing. It was more prescription pills and things like that. But
it's so important that we do touch on that a little bit, because I want other people to realize that you don't have to do all that to try to be somebody. You kicked it all, and look at you. You're putting out great music. You're on tour. You're making it happen. And to be honest with you, I think if you stayed going down that other road, it would have detoured off in a direction that you didn't want to go in.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be 35,
Exactly.
I'll be 35 in December. I definitely wouldn't have made it here this far. My dad always used to joke with me and tell me that I did everything backwards. I did the drugs and rock and roll first, and then started playing music. So
Well,
Yeah, but
maybe back in the day that, a lot of that was going on. I get it. And you're going to be 35. I totally understand that, but you've done a good thing, brother. And I want other people to hear that and learn from your experience. And you're coming to Kegs this weekend.
I
You're
am.
bringing the band. You're going to rock. Tell us a little bit about what your show is like.
It's really high energy. There's probably we only play like one or two slow songs, which are songs that are a moment. And we just try to create moments within the show that people remember and leave and say, hey, that was fun. I'd love to go back to that. So it's a lot of high energy. And I think that we bring the party to the people. That's our, that's
I love
kind
it.
of
that's
the
the way to do it.
When Deb popped on tonight just a little while ago, and she had some music cranked in the background, and I'm listening, and it was Dick down in Dallas.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Deb. Now, can you? If others want to go and check it out, they can. I love it. I love it absolutely, and I think a lot of us can relate to certain things like that. But tell us, how did all that come about? And I know that's the number of streams on that song, everything is just number
Crazy
one on
Yeah.
iTunes.
They always say that one song can change your life, and that's the song that changed my life. For sure. I mean, up until 2020, right before the pandemic, I was playing cover gigs 4 nights a week, 4 hours straight, no breaks, playing other people's songs to make a living. And in 2019, I moved to Nashville, and I met some friends and started writing songs with them, all while traveling and playing shows on the weekends. And then the pandemic happened, shut everything down. Well, we just started hanging out at each other's houses because the bars were closed. We couldn't go out, etc.
Right.
And my friend McKinney wrote the song called Dig Down Dallas, and I thought it was funny. I didn't think anything of it. And one day we went to Chili's, things kind of started to open back up, and we were driving back, and my old roommate, Mitch Wallace, said, man, if this song was out, I'd buy it. And I was just like, you know what? I've been putting out music since 2013. It's kind of funny. Like, I'll do it. And then
Give it a try.
yeah, I ended up playing this round here in town, in the round podcast round, and somebody took a video of it and ended up on Facebook, and then ended up on Old Row, and then I recorded it. And I'll never forget, I was driving down to Huntsville, Alabama, to play a 4-hour acoustic show at this place called well, it's this place. It was a pub. I can't remember what it was called, but Jefferson Street Pub. Okay. And I posted a video of us in the studio recording it. It's pinned to my TikTok profile. It's right at the top. But it was funny because like I posted the video, I played the gig, made my $300, and then I opened my TikTok app and it had 3 million views. And
oh, is that not amazing? That TikTok still to this day just baffles me. But that is amazing.
Yeah, and then we put the song out. It came out December 1st. It went #1. I don't know if you can see back here, but that's my Billboard #1 plaque right there on the wall.
Yep, love
and
it.
that's my gold plaque, and then I'll be getting a plaque soon. But I don't know. It's cool. We kind of started this thing coming out of a pandemic, and we played 148 shows or something like that, original shows. And then this last January, I had another song that went #1 on iTunes called Single Again. And, so it's really cool. And my thing is like, if you come, I always say, if you come to one of my shows and you've never seen a show before and you walk in the room just to hear that one song, my goal and our job is to make you leave. You know, if you come in a fan of that song, we want to make you leave a Trey Lewis fan. So
yeah, exactly. Do you play that early on, or do you play it towards the end?
I play it last. You know,
yeah,
if that's the only reason you're there, I got to make you wait for it.
I agree.
Yeah. But you know what? It is, and I would definitely wait for it. But you have so many other great songs.
Yeah,
and I'm really surprised, being a programmer, being who I am, being on the air every day, and Deb and I have discussed this a little bit, that we're not hearing more of people like you. First of all, let me ask, is it true that you said no to a lot of labels?
I did at first, yeah. I did. I just knew that song wasn't going to go to radio, so any amount of money, any money they could have given me to go to radio. I mean, that's my dream. That's what I've always dreamed of, is having a song on country radio. I mean, that's, you know,
Well, you can do it. You can do it. I
Yeah,
was listening
so-
before we went on
So I
to.
turned a lot of labels down, but I'm now my deal is done. I'm signing with River House Artists next Tuesday.
There you go, dude. Love it. Love it. You got to be excited about that. That's so very cool.
Yeah, I'm so pumped, man. I really believe and that they believe in me, and you know we're gonna make a great partnership and keep this thing rolling and see how far we can take it. You know.
I was going to say that I was listening to the acoustic version of Whatever She Sees in Me.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about you and what I read in your bio. And I'm going, I think that's about him. I think it's about you being sober. Then you picked up the guitar and it helped you get through, getting sober, and that guitar helped you get through it. Is that true?
Yeah, the song's about my mom. And I just I had that song title in my I had the song title in my phone for a long time, and I kept pitching it out at rights and everything. And people would always be like, man, if we're not going to write this as a love song, then I don't want to write it. So I just held on to it until guys wanted to write about my mom. But yeah, the second verse does touch on, it says,
I know it said about you, getting
it
sober.
says, had a heartbreak, took it real bad, ended up 6 months in a rehab. Sober was a hard thing until I found a 6-string. Still wish Daddy could have seen that, but Mama did. Front row saying that's my kid. My dad passed away when I was 26. So
yeah, and you said in your bio, I know I don't mean to take words out of your mouth, but your dad had a massive heart attack.
He did. He did.
But you had 2 dads too, right? You had a stepdad.
Yeah, I had a
and you had
stepdad that helped raise me, and him and my mom divorced when I was like 13, and then I have my mom's remarried now, and I have a stepdad. He's still alive, and but man, it's like a lot of people I feel like would look at my mom being married several times and me having a bunch of different men in and out of my life, and be like, oh man, this guy can't catch a break. But the way I look at it, man, is I had 3, 4, if you include my granddad, 4 men that were really good role models of how to be in life. And I feel like I took each good thing from them and I've incorporated that into who I am as a person.
See, this story is what needs to be heard. I mean, this is excellent. But being at the age of, before we get back to the music here, at the age of 13, did it hit you pretty hard? Your mom and dad said, this isn't going to work, or no, your dad passed. No, what happened? 13, they split, right?
Yeah, 13, they split. And that was kind of like when I started getting into the drugs and stuff, and the isolation and like my depression and all my anxiety kind of began. I mean, not that it's their fault, but it's just, I was a kid and going through puberty and, just all that stuff. And it was really tough on me. And that's, kind of how it all started happening for me to spiral downhill and get into the drugs and the rough crowds and all that stuff.
There's a lot of people even out there today still that feel, they go through a very similar situation. They have a hard knock at a certain age, and they turn to that and realize that, though they think that's what's going to help them, but thankfully you were able to get out of that. And
I just think it had a lot to do with me being young, but I got sober when I was 19, and I mean,
that's excellent.
I've been through so much stuff in my sobriety that that traumatic event as a kid doesn't even hold a candle to some of those things, and never the thought to drink or to do drugs has crossed my mind as a good idea, and that's the power of what healing gives you,
Absolutely.
So just circling back when you were saying, I think you said your mom or your dad said you did it backwards by doing the drugs and all that first, and then you're finding your music. The grace of that is that you're going to have this awesome career ahead of you that you can really enjoy.
Well, thank you.
I can really enjoy it. So,
absolutely.
And I think everything happens the way it's supposed to, and everything kind of builds off the next. And you just have to keep on keeping on and not give up and not get lost in what other people are doing or, et cetera. You just got to do what you know how to do. And there's only one you, so you just got to be you. And that's kind of how
I love it.
That's Trey, a great story for other people to hear who are going through something.
Yes. And that's why I wanted to get that out. Yeah. Trey, where is home?
I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama, but I live in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay. Do you live close to downtown?
About 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's cool. Close enough, but far enough away.
Yeah.
It's kind of a zoo. I mean, do you get down on Broadway at all in that crazy, the
I actually
craziness of
love
it all?
going to Broadway.
Yeah.
I love going to Broadway more than I do going to like Midtown, because when
Oh,
I go to
wow.
Midtown, it's like colleagues and stuff and people I don't even know, and they're coming up to me and being like, "Hey man, we should write sometime." And I'm like, "Man, I don't even know you. Where were you 2 years ago when I had a mattress on the floor? Nothing,
Right.
But
I
when
love
I
Broadway,
go to
too.
Broadway, when I go to Broadway, and when I was on tour with Kid Rock, he told me one time, he said, "Man, enjoy going to like the store and stuff." He was like, "I can't go anywhere, so enjoy it while you can."
Oh, that's true.
So like
That's true.
when I'm down on Broadway, I can go down there and maybe 2 or 3 people might recognize me, and I'll take some pictures with people. But other than that, nobody really bothers me. So I can go down there. I've got friends that still play down there, and I'll get up down there and I'll play on stage for an hour. I'll just play covers, and then
I
at the
love
end,
it.
I'll play my 2 hit songs, and then after that, it's like everybody knows who I am. But
Yeah.
it's fun.
What are your favorite covers to play?
Like Dust on the Bottle, Dixieland Delight, When It Rains It Pours, Whiskey Glasses.
Oh wow. Do you make them your own though? Do you do something a little bit different?
Fishing in the Dark. Yeah, I might make
Fishing in the Dark. I love that.
I might make a lyric dirty or something just for
love
fun, or throw an extra cuss word or something,
I love it. I love it. That's what it's all about, brother. That's what it's all about. It's about having fun, and you create those memories. As crazy as it sounds, why not? It's not like it's going to be on the radio. You're in a venue and you've got everybody rocking out and everybody's loving the music and digging the tunes. So that's cool.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us about your songwriting. How does all that come to you? How do you do you do it alone? Do you meet with others? Do you go to the rights out and about? Tell us all about that.
So at first, we talked about it earlier. I turned a lot of the record deals down, but what I didn't turn down, that was a publishing deal. And I've been signed at Sony Music Publishing for about a little over a year.
Okay.
And basically they handle my book, they handle my rights. And I go in every day to either Sony or studio or wherever, and I usually write with about 2 to 3 people. But when I'm out on the road and living life, that's when I come up with my ideas or my hooks or what I want to say or whatever, and then I take it in and go write songs with some of the best songwriters here in Nashville. So
love it.
It's been cool.
Riding that bus, does that help with the thinking process? When you're just kind of laying in the bunk and cruising down a highway and no idea where the hell you are, but you come up with these thoughts.
Yeah, and just living life, man. I think that's the thing. Is like I can't ever like force anything. I just got to get out there and live my life. And I like to go fishing a lot. So a lot of times I'll take a day off and go fishing on the lake and just think about life and just let the air blow in my hair, even though I don't have any.
You're better off, dude.
Now, here's the funny thing. If I see you now with a hat on, and if I saw you on the street without your hat, I would not even realize it was you.
Yeah.
I am so bad with that stuff. And especially not.
Kind of a thing,
Yeah.
If I don't want to be bothered in public, I just don't wear a hat at all.
There you go.
So
I just look
amazing.
because I just look like a middle-aged man,
It's amazing how one little thing like that can just take the whole perspective, and you wouldn't even know it was Trey. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So that's cool.
That is funny.
Chesney's the same way, by the way. You would never know if he took his hat off. He's a bald old man. Just saying. No, just kidding.
He's not really bald though. You have it's almost like a buzz.
No, he's got a buzz.
Yeah, I mean,
I get
I'm
it.
a little bald on the top, but see up there.
Yeah, no,
There you
I got it.
Oh, wow.
But I shave my head.
My brother-in-law does the exact same thing. He's got the beard going, but he shaves the head. I get it. Totally get it. It's cool.
We all have our thing.
It was getting hopeless there for a while, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start shaving my head.
Now, do you have any idea? Wait a minute. You go to Binghamton. Binghamton is just south of Syracuse.
Yeah,
you're there the night before you're here.
I am.
So it's about an hour, a little over an hour from Binghamton to Syracuse. So you probably get in pretty early. They got plans for you, like during the day. You're going to get out and do something, or
I don't really know.
Just kind of chill.
Yeah, I'll probably just chill out.
Leave it up to Matt. He'll get you hooked up with something good.
Yeah, he'll have me doing something. I'm sure. I'm breaking content. I'm bringing my content guy out with me this weekend, so I'm sure we'll be
Nice.
shooting some TikToks and Instagrams and
Oh,
what
there
have
you go.
you. Yeah.
I was going to ask, what is your typical day like when you arrive somewhere? You know, what do you tend to do to pass your time?
Sometimes I go play disc golf. It just really just
Mhm.
depends. Sometimes I just relax and take it easy if I had like a really long week, you know, and
Mhm.
just get some good downtime before I hit the stage, and
Mhm.
you know, so it really just
Yeah.
depends on what we're doing.
Yeah.
Do you rest really well? Are you well rested riding the bus? Do you sleep well? Do you?
I mean, it's definitely nicer than riding in a van, you know, and
Oh
getting like
yeah, I
8
mean,
hours of sleep in a hotel and having to get back on. I feel like all of us are more well rested when we're in the bus. So yeah, but it's definitely not the same as sleeping in the bed.
do you normally have the same driver?
No, because
No,
we're not in the same bus all the time,
I
but
got you.
we're getting pretty close to being in the same bus.
Oh, okay. So if you have a different driver all the time, and then you hear the rumble strips, do you get a little nervous? Like, oh, maybe this
Not
guy's
really,
coming.
but I honestly haven't met a bus driver that seems like a sane person yet.
Yeah. You know what? They're very talented. Let's if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to see you guys. So those
Yeah,
drivers, I mean, they're on the road a
Mhm.
lot and driving all night. I've seen
yeah.
them on the thruway and the interstate and stuff like that during the night. So yeah, it's crazy. So Trey Lewis coming up at Kegs. Of course, it's Saturday night. It's going to be pretty awesome. I can't, I'm so glad that Matt reached out and said, let's do something. He's going to be at Kegs. And I said, yeah, because honest to God, I know I've heard your name and from before, and I've been in the
Mhm.
radio business for a while, but I'm trying to, it kind of baffles me that I can't really put a finger on it. But I said, yeah, definitely. I want to talk to him. So that's kind of
Well,
cool.
you know, I was looking at some of your stats and Skip. You have
Oh,
to
here we
know
go.
him.
She's the numbers lady. Let me tell you.
I love numbers. But I will say, of all the artists we've interviewed, I think you've hit the biggest number. You're this is just Spotify. You have like over 1 million monthly listeners. Like 1 million. That's
Yeah.
like a ton. I don't think we've had anybody that's had over 1 million monthly
Oh wow.
listeners.
Yeah.
So congratulations. I mean,
Well,
that's
thank you. We just have to keep
just
putting the music out, you know.
huge milestone. So
Well, look where
so
we
you know.
are nowadays, though, utilizing social media the way we're
Mhm.
doing
Mhm.
that, and you're doing it, and those numbers will just keep going up and up. I mean, there's artists that aren't even on the radio at all that are selling out venues because of
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cooper
Yeah.
Allen's one of those.
Yeah.
So,
He's man, and Cooper's a great guy. We actually have a song coming out in January.
oh, very cool. Yeah,
It'll be
he's here
me,
in just
him.
a few
It'll
weeks.
be me, him, and Thomas Mack. It'll be awesome. And he opened those shows last weekend for Kid Rock, so
I
I got to
love it.
hang out with him and watch him and his band play. Man, he's so talented.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
think one day we will hear him on the radio for sure, without a doubt.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's
Without a doubt.
undeniable. I mean, it's
It
gonna
was
happen.
I going back to the country radio seminar last year, Deb and I were sitting at bar lines, having a cold one, just kind of chilling after a busy day. And
Mhm.
and in walked Cooper Allen, and the
Yeah,
place went nuts.
Mhm.
People that were there were like, "Oh my God, that's Cooper Allen. Oh my God." I'm going, okay, all right,
yeah,
because I'm probably not as active as I should be on social media, but
yeah,
I am there. It just kind of threw me for a loop going, okay, you've got, well, there's Kane Brown sitting over there all by himself, or well, with his record crew and or label crew,
Mhm.
and they're having lunch. But Cooper Allen walks in and it's like, everybody's like,
yeah,
Cooper,
Everybody
can I
went
get a picture?
crazy.
Can I get this? Can I get that? So,
Mhm.
yeah. He's got 8 million followers. I mean,
yeah,
almost or something like that on
Oh my
TikTok.
goodness.
it's
Yeah,
crazy. So I
it's
got to
good.
ask you, Kid Rock, how was that experience?
It was great, man. I mean, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, that tour kind of changed my life, just as far as the exposure that I got from that, and seeing how somebody that's a really just an icon,
Hmm, hmm.
you know, in my generation coming up. I mean, I remember him.
Absolutely.
He was in Joe Dirt. He was in The
Yeah.
Simpsons. He
Just
was in.
crazy.
I mean, he was just like, he's really big, and to go, to play 38 shows with him in arenas and
Whew.
amphitheaters and see those shows sold out even still, and even at his age, watch him do it to like he
Yeah.
was 20 years old. I mean, it
Yep.
was just
Yep.
unreal, man. I mean, it was an unreal experience, and for him to treat me like a friend, and
I love that.
and take care of me, man. That was, I mean, I'm forever indebted. There's nothing I could do to ever repay him for that.
Yeah,
So it was super, super cool experience.
We watched him play ping pong last February at the Country Radio Seminar. So that was kind of great.
Yeah, he's super competitive. He loves
no doubt.
He loves ping pong, and now he's into pickleball. So
oh my goodness.
I bought me a paddle. I told him I bought me a paddle. I'm gonna start learning how to play. I said maybe when you're 60,
you should do it. It'd be really cool. He manages a group called Sweet Tea Trio.
Yeah. They're from Alabama too.
Yeah, that's why I was bringing it up. I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, I know Victoria pretty well. We used to run around some of the same circles and play at some of the same venues. So yeah, I know, I'm familiar with most of those girls.
Yeah, they just put out a song, All Hat, No Cattle.
Yeah, they got a song on radio right now, I think.
Yeah, they're pushing it to radio. That's how I know about it. And also they are on their what they call the radio tour, which I'm sure you know what that's all about. Sure. They're coming through here in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I thought I saw their name popped up.
Tell Victoria I said hello when she comes through.
I absolutely will. And what about Muscadine Bloodline?
Yeah, I know Charlie really well. He's a good guy. And I don't know Gary very well, but we know each other. You know, if we saw each other walking down the street,
did you guys do something together or no?
We never did a song together. I opened some shows for him while I was still like on the cover circuit, trying to figure out like how to be a country artist, and they were good to me in that way. And then I was on their podcast. They had a podcast there for a little while during the pandemic, and I was on that. And then me and Charlie's just kind of been a really good friend to me.
Cool.
He helped me with some mental health stuff, man. He's just a good dude. And they're good Alabama boys.
How are you doing right now? How would you say you are right now?
How am I doing right now?
Yes.
I'm doing great, man.
Awesome.
I'm great.
Awesome.
I've worked hard all week and getting ready to go on the road, you know?
No, exactly. And the reason, mental health, you may look at somebody and everybody, oh, they're fine. But it's not what's out here. It's what's in here. And you helped a lot of people through, even though you went through a lot of that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Trey, but you helped a lot of people get through it as well.
I mean, that's just part of the process of getting sober and staying sober. I mean, there's a sense of duty there to give back to the alcoholic or the addict that still suffers. I mean, without somebody doing that for me for completely free, I wouldn't be here. And so I feel like there's always I always have that sense of duty to go back and do that always. And I feel like even today I work really hard on not only just for my sobriety, because I haven't thought about getting high or drunk in a long time, but
that's awesome.
I work really hard on my emotional state and making sure that I'm where I need to be so I can be the best version of myself that I can be and be prepared for whatever's emotionally, mentally, and spiritually for whatever's coming my way. And I see my therapist about once a month, and I still go to the 12-step fellowships, and I'm still a huge part of that. And that's just, I've made it my identity, and that's why I talk about it, because
I'm glad you're talking about it.
It's almost like an agreement, with myself. The more I talk about it, the more it is a part of my life, the more that I'm thinking about,
I would think
being who I am, and
Yeah, no, and your words mean so much, and what you're saying is so powerful. But somebody of your stature being on the stage in front of thousands of people that are drinking, and now, pot is legal, you've got all this stuff going on. Does it ever affect you in any way?
No, I never even think about it.
That's
it
awesome.
doesn't affect me. I mean, I'm a big firm believer in the 12-step fellowships, that if you go in there and that you do what they ask you to, I mean, it works, man. And the power of God, I mean, that's the real stuff behind it. And that's what that stuff did. It gave me like a cheat sheet to unlock that relationship with a higher being. And man, there's nothing better than my relationship with God. And
absolutely.
but I don't, that problem's been removed from me as long as I keep a certain simple attitude. That's the way I look at it. And that certain simple attitude is making sure that I'm good to people and making sure that I'm keeping on top of everything that I need to keep on top of. Because without it, I know without it today, my sobriety, I can't live life. I can't do anything, that I want to do. So I get what I want by doing something that at first I didn't really want to do. And today it's just become a working part of my mind and just a everyday exercise that I have to do.
Excellent.
Are you a sponsor for someone by any chance?
Yeah, I sponsor people. I do.
You do? Mm-hmm. So, because is that hard to do being in the business that you're in? Do you have to meet with them or talk to them regularly, or?
Yeah.
How do you help?
I got a few guys that I meet with once a week. Take an hour out of my time. It has gotten a little weird, in the last few years. But there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of other musicians too that struggle with this stuff. So, that are way more famous than me. So, so it's cool to be able to put that stuff aside. But I will say it did get weird. But there's also other ways to give back than to just sponsor people. So,
well, when it comes down to it, even as your career grows and you become more famous and so forth, when it comes down to it, you are just as human as the rest of us, and
that's
we
right.
all have
that's
things,
right.
And that's what people need to realize and understand is we all go through stuff, and just because you're in your world and Skip's in that world and I'm in this world, we all have to go through things in life. So that's awesome that you're still willing to give back, knowing that your career is heading in this direction.
Yeah, I always give. I think it's important to give back, like I said, but I also get something out of that, and that's spiritual freedom and a high that I can't get anywhere else. So I always, always do it.
I think my high will be
songs.
Music. My high is
great
music.
Songs
That's how I'm telling you. On Sunday mornings, I'll come down to my studio here and I'll crank some tunes, and that's what makes me feel good. That's my high.
Yeah,
the music. Play it loud and sing along and just get into it. Just
that's
like
awesome.
we will on Saturday night when we're at Kegs. Because Trey Lewis will be there. He's in Binghamton on Friday. Hits Kegs in Jordan on Saturday. How you probably go on 9 o'clock? I don't know. How long's your set?
Usually? My set's 90 minutes. So
there you go. An hour and a half. Hour and a half of rockin' Trey Lewis.
Yes, sir.
I'll have to catch you another time because I'm going to be in Nashville this weekend.
Oh,
so I'm going to miss you. I'll be crossing your path there. Yeah. So. Do you get to perform in Nashville at all, or you?
Yeah, we have a show coming up sometime in November. It's on a Thursday at Third and Lindsley. So,
one of my favorite venues. Yep.
I'll look for that. I'll see if I'm supposed to be there in November too, so I'll look for that.
Awesome, cool.
So. I'm trying to work my way into the CMA, so we're hopefully I'll be bouncing around town too. So I'd love to bring Skip Happens down and interview a bunch of artists. I have had a lot of the labels kind of reach out and. So we're kind of working on something, but I'm looking at a lot of the comments on the side here, and Roger Johnston, who's been commenting, Roger is one of the photographers at Kegs, and he just said, "Hey Trey, I'll see you Saturday night." So if somebody comes up and says, "Hey, I'm Roger," well, obviously you know who he is. He's got cameras hanging all over him, but I don't know how it's going to work with your.
See you there, Roger.
There you go. I don't know how it's going to work with your camera guy, but still, it's going to be cool. Trey, it's a great story. We're looking forward to Saturday night at Kegs. You're just an inspiration to so many different people. Your music, it's different in a good way, which that's what we need. And that's what makes you stand out. Your songwriting is great. If somebody wanted to find out more about you, you have a website? Correct?
Yes, you can go to treylewismusic.com. I have merch on there.
Cool.
It gives you the link for my podcast, which is DM Monday. It's got links for all my socials, so you can find me on there.
Yeah. And what do you do on your podcast?
We just tell jokes and stories and interview people, and we actually had Tracy Lawrence on a few weeks ago.
Love Tracy.
Tracy's so it was fun.
Yeah. We just had we just had Walker Hayes on last week, and we had Russell Dickerson on. I mean, we do these every week with a lot of different levels of artists. But I was just kind of curious. I love this podcast thing, and hopefully you had a good time chatting with us here tonight.
Yeah, man, I had a blast. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I urge you to share the video if you can. You can find us on YouTube, Skip Happens, and just click on subscribe. Of course, you can do that, but I'll send you the link anyways. This is all live as we're doing this right now, but the video will always live online too. And Deb's got some things she wants to tell you.
Okay.
Oh, well, we are at the Official Country Music Fan Club. You can follow us on Facebook if you get a chance, and we'll follow you as well. And as you get new music out, we will definitely push it out to some new viewers for you, and you'll be getting some new fans, I know, right away from doing that.
Awesome.
So,
will do, for sure.
Instagram and Facebook. So we're excited. I'm very excited.
Awesome.
And TikTok. TikTok.
Oh, we're not on TikTok yet.
Oh, you need
we're
to
going
be.
be working on it. I know.
Trey, tell her she needs to be on TikTok.
Need to get on the TikTok.
That's right.
Oh,
Saturday night at Kegs.
The TikTok train.
There you go.
Yes.
Get on the train. You're going to be left behind. Saturday night at Kegs. It's that guy right there. It's Trey Lewis. We're talking Saturday, October 15th, in case you see this down the road. It's already past the date. But yeah, exactly right. So we're going to have a good time, and I hope to catch up with you soon, my friend. Thank you for joining us here on Skip Happens tonight.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate y'all's time.
Right here. Peace out, my friend.
All right,
Thank you.
See ya.